was supposed to be a routine overnight ferry trip between Norway and Denmark. Families slept in their cabins, children rested after a long day, and the sea was calm. Then, in the darkness, smoke began creeping through the corridors. Within minutes, confusion turned into panic. How did a normal voyage become a floating nightmare? And who started the fire? On the evening of April 6, 1990, passengers boarded the MS Scandinavian Star in Oslo, Norway, preparing for what should have been a simple overnight ferry trip to Frederikshavn, Denmark. Families carried bags into narrow corridors. Children laughed as parents settled into small cabins. Some passengers visited the restaurant and bar before turning in for the night. The sea was calm. The journey felt routine. Just after midnight, everything changed. Somewhere on the passenger deck, a fire started. At first, it may have seemed small, something that could be controlled. But within minutes, flames began racing through hallways lined with flammable materials. Thick black smoke filled the corridors faster than anyone could react. The alarms rang out into the night. Passengers woke in confusion. Smoke seeped under cabin doors. People opened their doors only to be met by darkness and choking air. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. Some tried to run. Others banged on walls, shouting for help. Parents searched desperately for their children in smoke-filled hallways. The fire spread rapidly from deck to deck. Toxic fumes became the real killer. Many victims never even reached the flames. They were overcome by smoke inside their cabins. Survivors later described crawling along the floor just to breathe, feeling walls to find an exit, unsure if they were moving towards safety or deeper into danger. Rescue efforts began, but the chaos on board made coordination difficult. Some emergency systems failed. Confusion among the crew slowed response times. By the time the fire was finally brought under control, the damage was beyond devastating. 159 people were dead. It became one of the deadliest modern maritime disasters in Europe. Investigators later confirmed what many feared. The fire was not an accident. It was arson. Evidence showed it had been deliberately set, possibly in more than one location. The revelation shocked the public. Someone had intentionally ignited a blaze aboard a ship filled with sleeping passengers. But the story did not end there. Questions surrounded the ship's safety standards, the materials used in construction, the crew's preparedness, and the company's responsibility. Legal battles followed. Reports were disputed. For years, controversy lingered over who truly carried the blame. For the families of the 159 victims, closure was never simple. The tragedy exposed serious flaws in maritime safety and forced changes in international fire regulations for passenger ships. Yet even decades later, one haunting truth remains. A ship full of sleeping passengers caught fire in the middle of the sea, and it was no accident. And the question that still echoes across the water is this: if the fire was deliberately set, who truly paid the price?